Hello everyone, good morning. I am John Cornelius M. Lasarte and I am here to discuss a hierarchy chart about athletics. But before we go to the hierarchy chart, let me give you some background information about athletics. Athletics is also known as track and field events. It involves running, throwing, and jumping events. It came from the Greek word atlos, which means contest. It is characterized as individual sport which every participant competes with each other at the same time for track events and at the same time for field events. The winner is determined through the best time, greatest or longest distance, and the best score. It can be held through outdoors with 400-meter track, which has 8 to 9 lanes, and indoor, which has 200-meter track with 4 to 6 lanes. Men and women compete in different events because the women's event is less harder than the men's event. Now, let's go to the hierarchy chart. We have here the three categories under athletics. We have track events, field events, and combined events. For track events, we have running and race walking events, which has sprint, middle distance, long distance, and road races. Under sprint, we have hurdles and relay race. For middle distance, we have steeplechase. For road races, we have marathon and race walking. For field events, we have two categories, which are jumping events and throwing events. Under jumping events, it has 4 subcategories such as pole vault, long jump, triple jump, and high jump. For throwing events, it has also 4 subcategories, which are shot put, javelin throw, hammer throw, and discus throw. We will deal with it one by one. Let's have here the track events. Sprints are short races which can be 60 meter, 100 meter, 200 meter, or 400 meter. Under sprint, we have hurdle events and relay race. For hurdle events, it can be held 60 meter hurdle, 100 meter hurdle for women category, 110 meter hurdle for men category, and it can also be 400 meter hurdle. For relay race, 4 participant participates in the competition as a one group. The runner carries a baton which he or she passes to the next runner as he or she finishes his part of the race. It can be 4 by 100 meter race, 4 by 200 meter race, 4 by 400 meter race, and 4 by 800 meter race. Next, we have the middle distance. Middle distance are longer races than sprint. It can be held up to 300 or 3,000 rather, 3,000 meter race. It can be 800 meter, 1,500 meter, 1,600 meter, 2,000 meter, or 3,000 meter race. This 3,000 meter race is called the steeplechase. In steeplechase, the participant needs to overcome or jump over obstacles and water jumps. Next, we have the long distance. In long distance races, these are the races that occurs for more than 3,000 meters. It can be 5,000 meter race, 10,000 meter, 20,000 meter, or 30,000 meter. And lastly, for the track event, we have the road races. Road races occurs or happens or held in the open roads and sometimes finishes in the tracks. It can be 60 kilometers, 10 kilometers, rather 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers, 50 kilometers. We have here the marathon. Marathon is the longest race for runners. It is often held on 42.195 kilometers races. It is held on the public roads, and only its final part is held on the athletic track. For race walking, we have it here. It can be held for 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers, and 50 kilometers. It is either held on open road or it can also be held on tracks. Next, we are going to jump to the field events. We have here jumping events and throwing events. Let's go to the jumping events. In jumping events, we have here the triple jump. In triple jump, the participant dashes through the track, then perform a hop, a bound, then finally a jump into the sand pit. Then next we have the high jump. In high jump, the participant jump unaidedly over a horizontal bar placed at a measured height without dislodging it. In pole vault, the players or the participant uses a long and flexible pole that is usually made up of carbon fibers as an aid to jump over the bar. Then lastly, we have the long jump. In long jump, the participant or the competitors uses or combines speed, strength, and agility in order to leap high, or in attempting to leap high from a certain point of takeoff. Now let's move on to the throwing events. In throwing events, we have here the discus throw. This disc is called the discus. It is a heavy disc thrown by the player as far as they can. On the other hand, in shot put, the players uses a heavy ball which is called the shot, which they try to throw as far as they can. Here, in the javelin throw, the players or the contestants uses javelin or a spear-like object that is usually made up of carbon fibers that they try to throw as far as they can. While on the other hand, in hammer throw, the players throws a heavy metal ball attached on a wire with a handle. Finally, we are here with the combined events, or what we call the multiple event competition. This includes events from both the track or running and field or jumping and throwing events. We have here decathlon and heptathlon. The decathlon is for the men's category, while the heptathlon is for the women's category. The decathlon lasts for 2 consecutive days, where the competitors participate in 10 track and field events. For the first day of the competition, we have the 100-meter dash, to be followed by the running long broad jump, then shot put, and high jump. And for the last event of the first day is the 400-meter run. Going to the second day, we have the 110-meter hurdles, to be followed by the discus throw, then the pole vault, then the javelin throw, and lastly the 1,500-meter run. Next, we have the heptathlon for women category. It also lasts for 2 days. The competitors participate in 7 track and field events, and for the first day we have the 100-meter hurdles, then followed by the high jump, shot put, And lastly, for the first day is the 200-meter run. For the second day, we have the running long broad jump. Then, to be followed by the javelin throw, and lastly, the 800-meter run. From both categories, the decathlon and heptathlon, competitors are scored for their performance in each event according to a table established by the International Association of Athletics Federation. That concludes the discussion of my hierarchy chart in athletics. Thank you for listening and have a great day.